My name is Birgir. I am the CMO of CrankWheel, and welcome to this webinar on how you can use videos to warm up prospects. And the agenda today is that I'll be talking about why it's important to use videos in sales. I'll give you some examples and ideas on use cases and talk about examples of how videos can be used on different occasions, and also giving some pointers on how to record videos. Then our CEO, Jói, and Peter, our CTO, will give a demonstration on how these new features work in CrankWheel. We'll have a Q&A session afterwards at the end of the webinar. If you have any questions, you can post them in the chat while we are talking, or during the Q&A session. So let's get going. So the reason why we are hosting this webinar is that in the past months we have been launching new features in CrankWheel. Now you can upload videos to the cloud. You can share those videos either by embedding them into emails with a preview snippet, and stream high quality videos in a screen sharing session. But why should we use videos in remote sales? So, as you all know, and why CrankWheel is so effective is that a picture is worth 1,000 words, but a video is worth 30,000 words per second. So there are 30 frames in a video per second, so it's easy math. But today we are exposed to more text now than ever before in history. With the internet and smart devices, we are getting bombarded with text. And the way we read and consume text has changed from in-depth reading to skimming, skim and scan over larger blocks of text. And our brains are not as well wired for text versus visuals. Viewers of a video, they retain 95% of the information they receive compared to 10% I mentioned on the slide before. And our brain processes visual information 60,000 times faster than text. This is the reason why the best storytellers and the best authors are the ones who can help us visualize what we are reading. And as an example of the effectiveness of video is, you can see that social media favors videos over post with text and maybe some images, because videos mean higher engagement, and that means that people stop scrolling to the feed and stop and watch the video. And I want to show you an example of, this is from our LinkedIn page, the CrankWheel LinkedIn page. Here are the daily impressions, and you see a sudden spike last week, well, a very dramatic spike. And what happened? Well, we posted a video, and you can see that the impressions per post, it's usually around 40 impressions, but with your video, it went from normal 40 to 1,400. And I hope these visuals make sense. By adding videos to emails, you will increase the open rate of the emails up by 19%. And the click-through rates by 65%. So that's a good reason to start embedding videos in your emails. And here are some examples of how you can use videos in emails. So the insurance agent can use videos to warm up prospects by building trust or establishing trust. So they can start with a webcam recording just to introduce themselves, and then switch over to a screen recording where they can show the license, show that they are legit. Digital agencies or agents from digital agencies can use videos for cold outreach to build value. So they could do the same thing as they would do in a screen sharing session, but just record their screen, show damage report, local listings, even build a new website if they're in for the long format. And digital agencies can also use the videos for customer support, record the screen with like do a how-to video, troubleshooting, and you can either share the video via email or just send it via instant messaging or chat boxes. And solar agents can use it to approach leads. So let's say you have grabbed an inbound lead, they don't pick up the phone, so you can send them an email with a video of calculations and comparisons. So I want to share with you some pointers when you're producing the video, what to keep in mind when you're recording. And for outreach email, sorry, Skál. You have to remember that this is, well, you have to make it appear to be a personalized video. So even if you're using the same video for multiple emails to multiple prospects, make it appear that you are talking to each individual. So just be yourself. Remember that you're talking to another person at the end of, well, the person that's on the other screen. So you're not talking to a camera, and you don't have to be perfect, just be relatable. And you can use the videos and emails, especially in cold outreach, to warm things up. You want to show that there is a person behind the email, like I told you before, and let people know, what's in it for them, why they should, reply to your email or take the action you're requesting. Try to keep the email copy short. Remember, people want to skim over text, and make people want to know more to click the video. And in the video, you go into more detail and end it with a call to action. A call to action can be reply to this email, book a meeting, or just click the link. Like I mentioned before, you can share videos in a screen sharing session, and you can upload even professional videos, with a wow factor into your dashboard and share it in sessions. And you can also just use testimonials from customers or share how-tos or product demos. And using videos in emails in follow-ups can be a very powerful tool. So, just after the meeting has ended, start recording the follow-up. It's like a reminder of yours to help them remember what the meeting was about. Just give a high-level recap, propose the next steps. If you already proposed or you agreed on the next steps in the meeting, just remind them of what those steps were. And I want to come with, give you some tips if you haven't been recording yourself on video before. Because when I started, trying to figure those new features out, I was a bit like a deer caught in the headlights, because I haven't been active on social media for years, so I missed out on recording yourself blathering. So I made some observations while I've been recorded. So just remember, if you find it hard to start recording yourself, you're not alone. It's at least me also. But you will feel like an extreme self-awareness. Your own voice, when you hear it, you think it sounds silly, but it's only in your ears. You get used to it. You will start to notice, facial expressions that you didn't know you made, and the first 30-second video will take at least half an hour to record. Just remember to keep at it. You'll get more used to seeing and hearing yourself. So the more videos you do and create, the easier it gets, and the results will be better. Yeah, this is it with me. So thank you for your time and attention, and I'm handing the stage over to our CEO, Jói.
Everyone, good to have you here. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you very much, Birgir, for the overview of the use cases and how you can use video and what we've been building into CrankWheel over this last almost a year since we started on the project of building out this new feature area for CrankWheel. So my role here in this webinar is primarily to show you a live demo of some of the features, and I'll walk through a high level of some of those features, show you what the viewer experience is like for your prospects. A little bit into that, I'll invite our CTO, Peter Short, to join me on stage. He took the lead on building out this feature area, so he's the best person to ask for a real deep dive on all of the technical details. So he'll also be with us for the Q&A at the end of the webinar. And with that, let me share my screen to the webinar here. All right, and we'll start by looking at what our so-called projector looks like. Actually, before we do that, I do have a poll for you. So a quick little poll, because I'm really curious, and I'm sending that out right now. And the poll is, have you ever tried to play a video into like a Zoom or a Teams kind of web conference? So you should be able to see the answers come in live. A few folks have tried it. It looks like, yep, it's very exciting. It's like a race, and it looks like from the folks who've tried it, for most of them, it didn't work very well. For a few of them, it worked pretty well. I want to talk about a new approach to playing a live video within a screen sharing session or a web conferencing session that we've built in CrankWheel, and we call it the projector. So let me first show you what it looks like for the viewer. So let's say I have a viewer on the phone, and now I'm going to share my web camera and get a viewer connected. And I'll just put the the viewer window here on the same screen so that you can see both ends. So on the right hand side you'll see the presenter UI, and on the left hand side in the large window you'll see what the viewer would be seeing on their end. So they're connected to my web conference right now. They're just seeing me in a webcam just to get that personal connection going. And then at some point I have a sales video or a pitch or something like that that I really want to show to them. So I'll show you where we go. We go here to actions, and then we can show a video in session. And each of the agents in your account would see a list of videos here that have been approved or blessed by your administrative team as being allowed to be shared within Projector. And in this case, I'm going to show the video that Birgir alluded to, where we got a big spike of engagement on LinkedIn, and that is our video about sharing your screen to a Tesla. So note that as soon as I click show video, on the viewer end, the viewer is asked to, just approve showing the video. And this is necessary so that we can play the audio of the video. And then the interesting part of our new approach, and we've built out a completely, customized infrastructure for this. The interesting part of it is that we don't actually stream the video over the web conference. It is streamed directly to the viewer, just as if they were watching a video on YouTube or similar. So you can expect the playback quality on the viewer end to be the best playback quality that their device and network connection is capable of. So as you can see, the video is playing on the viewer end. The viewer can make it full screen if they want. They can go away from full screen. On the presenter end, you have full control over the video. So you can pause the playback at any point if you need to, and then you can resume it. And you'll see that you have this little preview pane, just as you're used to from CrankWheel live screen sharing. You have a preview pane here showing you what's going on in the video. And if you need to end the video before it's complete, you go ahead and do that. And now I'm back to the live screen share, and I can keep going. I can share another video and so forth. So that's what projector looks like for the prospect. Now, now I have another poll for you. Let me share that in. And I guess I didn't quite read Birgir's script closely enough, because he's kind of given away a partial answer here. But go ahead but maybe it wasn't right. Maybe we are deceiving you with what Birgir said. But how much do you think an embedded video with an animated preview put into an email, like in cold outreach or similar, how much do you think it can improve click-through rates? Oh, I see a lot of people are going for the 4 times higher click-throughs. It's very exciting to see the answers come in live like this. All right. So Birgir had the statistics, which are from a reliable source, that it's 60-something% uplift in click-throughs. But we see sources claiming everything up to 4 times more click-throughs. So we have 11 people there who got the correct answer, or at least the one that I was looking for. So the source for that is Inside Sales, which is a big inside sales company. They're pretty reputable for that. And we can share once we publish the webinar, we can share some of these sources with you. Okay, so let's look at what you can do with a live video that you can embed in an email, create with CrankWheel, or upload to the CrankWheel cloud, and then you can embed it in an email. And to begin with, I'm just going to show you what it looks like on the viewer end, so that we sort of see, what the end user experience looks like. Hang on just a sec, finding the correct window here. All right, so here's one I made earlier. So here I am in my Gmail. I was sent this super special video for you, and this part of the email is a block of web code, essentially, that CrankWheel created, and that the sender of the email, that's me actually in this case, just pasted into the email. And as you can see, there's a link to view the video, and there's also a GIF preview of the first few seconds of the video. So very engaging right there. If you click the video, you can see it on this kind of landing page. The landing page, just very briefly, it shows the video. You have all the typical controls. You can see the agent that sent it. This is something you can turn off for certain shares if you want, if you don't want to share the details of the agent, and you can see when it was shared. Playback and everything just works as you expect here. So you can play back the video in full quality, full screen, and so on. And this is a recording of a CrankWheel session, in this case, that I was sending out. So everything works just like a CrankWheel session. You can have the webcam overlaid like I did there. All right, so that's a very brief overview of what the sort of prospect-facing experience looks like. And we're going to do a little bit of a deeper dive now. And we'll show you how the recording feature itself works, how you can record your sessions in CrankWheel, We'll talk about how you can upload your own videos wherever they come from. They could be like professionally produced videos that you want to show in session or share by email. They could be recordings from elsewhere and so on. And we'll also take a look later on at how you can track and do analytics on the things that you send out. And to talk about a lot of these things, or to help me and make sure I get all the details right, I'm going to introduce our colleague and our Chief Technology Officer, Peter Short. Peter, I will invite you to the stage now. Hang on just a sec. All right, there you go. You should be able to join now.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Hey, Peter, say hi to the folks, and then we'll.
Hello.
All right. Thanks for joining, Peter, and definitely call me out if I'm getting anything wrong. I wanted to reiterate before we, really do the deep dive on a couple of the use cases that Birgir mentioned. You can use these sales-oriented video features in a number of different ways. So these could be sales emails. You could be doing prospecting, cold outreach. It could be an introduction by video the first time you're emailing someone, even if that email is a warm email. You could record a personalized, demo of a product or a solution that you're trying to sell them. You can send a recording of sessions after you finish, or you can do a separate recording of a recap of the session, just like Birgir mentioned. You can use video for internal training purposes. So on larger accounts, you can actually choose to record all videos, record all sessions, and these are all in your video library within CrankWheel, so you can use that for sales team training purposes. If you run a software business like we do, you can do things like record videos walking through how to do certain things in your platform, and you can use those for customer support. It's a really useful thing as well. And there's many other use cases that I'm sure you can think of. So, all right. Let's start. Talking a little bit about just the background technology, and Peter, maybe you can help me out here. So, I've mentioned that we started this project almost a year ago. We've been building out our own, custom video hosting infrastructure to support it. Can you talk just a little bit about, how we host the videos and stuff like that?
Yeah, certainly. So when you upload the recordings to us, we store them in the Amazon cloud. So all of our infrastructure is backed by Amazon. And when you upload the video, we put it through transcoding. We use a technology called HLS, which is very similar to what you would use if you're doing Netflix, for example, which is called adaptive streaming. So if someone's watching your video, if they have low bandwidth, then our video will cut down the bandwidth being used. So it will change the stream rate based on what your viewer is. So it should.
Did we lose Birgir? Sorry, Peter, I mean. Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me ping him on Instant Messenger and try to get him back. Okay. Birgir's coming back in just a sec. But just to wrap up what he was saying, HLS, it's a technology initially from Apple. We use that standard. We use various approaches that are like that, and it allows us to serve up the best stream that your particular device and network connection can handle. So each viewer of your videos is going to get the highest quality stream that their device and network connection is capable of. So that's all built into our platform. You never have to worry about how to store the videos or anything like that. We take care of everything. All right. Yeah, Peter, we lost you there for a minute, so I wrapped up, and now you're back on stage. But we'll keep going with the demo, and then we'll circle back to some of this stuff. All right.
Okay.
So next thing I'm going to look at with you is, how to record. So how do we record either a session or record even without having a viewer? So that's something that I wanted to mention. As soon as you start sharing something here, you can start a recording even without having a viewer. So you can use CrankWheel for pure recording only. You don't need to connect a viewer to be able to record. So let's connect a viewer just for the heck of it. And I'll move that viewer off to the side of the screen. So at any point, you can start recording a session. And as I mentioned, on larger accounts, you can also configure the account so that every presenter's every session starts recording no later than when the first viewer joins the session. So you can get recordings of all sessions. But you can also choose to start recording earlier, and then the viewer joins later, and the recording just keeps going. So I'm going to start recording. I'm starting on a webcam. Hello, hello. I will switch to my full screen. Sorry, I will switch to a browser tab here. Okay, let's just try moving the webcam around. There we go. You'll see all that happen in the preview pane. And then when the session ends and I click stop, I'll see a preview like this. It'll sort of prompt me gently here to choose a name for it. Right, I'll do that. It takes a little while to upload and then be processed on the server before it's ready for sharing. And let's take a look at a couple of things here. So for any recording we have, it'll say, and this is only for users on your account, it'll say who was it recorded by, when, what's the runtime, and then you can choose whether it should be allowed in projector. I'm an administrator on our account, so I can do that. And you can choose whether it should be allowed for sharing videos. If you disable both of those, then it's just there in your video library, for example, for training purposes. Let's actually take a look at the video library just for a sec. Here's all the recordings that we have for a certain date period. So let's take a look at today. And then you can also upload videos. You can look at your uploaded videos for a particular period of time, and you can upload a new video. So you can upload whatever video files you have into our cloud so that you can share them through all of these features that we're showing you today. All right, so I see now that our demonstration video has finished processing. So let's actually take a look at how we can share it. So as I mentioned, if I click here, allow in projector, then the next session that I perform or anybody else on that account performs, they will be able to use this video within projector. So I'm going to turn that back off since this is not a very useful video for our salespeople. And then for sharing through email or as a link, I would click here. And I can either copy a link to a share, or I can copy the email embed that I showed you before. So let's actually do that. Copy email template, and then I will drag in my Gmail window here. There it is. Okay, so I'm composing an email here. I'll send it to myself. All you need to do is just hit paste. So just, Command V or Control V or right click and paste, and your video and the preview is there in Gmail, and you can send it. And you'll just see something similar to what I showed you before. All right, that's how easy it is to send. You can also preview the share. So I'll show you a little bit later on how you can manage segments. We'll dig into that. Peter can explain. And you can do analytics on playbacks on the video. And when you do those, you'll see like who played or how many times was the video played and so on. So if you want to preview the share, you can click the preview share button and play the video back as many times as you like without that impacting your analytics. Okay. Yep, that's right, Kathy. You just copy paste. It's as easy as that. All right. So Let's see. Okay, so I shared this video. So I can go here to the Shares tab, or on my home page after login, or by clicking Dashboard, I can get to this same page. Here are my recently recorded videos. Here are my recently shared videos, or I can see more shares, which is the same as going here. So let's see, demonstration video for webinar. So it was shared, and now it's now, and there are 0 visits. And if I don't want to show the agent information, this is where I can do that. Peter, actually, I remember this UI took quite a lot of iteration to sort of get right and not make it confusing. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's kind of the standard story with any sort of web application is that you never get the UI correct the first time, but this one specifically, there's a lot of information being shown on this page, and it's important that it's clear and it's also intuitive. If you show a big grid of numbers to people, that's going to be very hard to decipher. And I think doing things like this visually is definitely the way forward. That being said, it's still not finished. I think there's more information we can have in here, and it's just a case of continually evolving.
Absolutely. Thank you, Peter. Okay, so I'm going to do my best to show all the different features, and please remind me if there's some stuff that I miss. Actually, first, let's go back to the video, and just to show a couple more things that I can do, I can download the video file, so I get an MP4 file of the entire video. If I need to use it outside of the CrankWheel platform, I can do that. And I can delete the video, obviously. I can rename it, that kind of thing. Okay, so back to the share. Just as I did before, I can copy a share link here. It's the same user interface that you saw before, pretty much. You can copy a plain link or the email template. Okay, but in this case, I'm copying for the segment, so-called segment, that I've chosen up here. So what's a segment? So imagine a couple of use cases. Maybe you want to send the same video to 5 different people. You could create a new segment for each one of them. Person 1, person 2, and then when you want to send to person 1, you copy the share link for person 1. When you want to send to person 2, you copy the share link for person 2. And then you will get separate analytics for each. Another similar case would be if you want to use the same video for a couple of different companies or a couple of different LinkedIn groups or something like that. You could create separate segments for the different companies. Let's say you create one segment for company A, another segment for company B, and then you copy the share link for company A, you send that to 4 or 5 people at that company. You copy the share link for company B after choosing that from the segment menu, and you send that to 5 or 10 people at company B. And after you've done that, you can get the analytics here, which are going to be by segment. So let me actually demonstrate that. I'll copy a share link for person 2, just a plain link this time. And I will open that in a browser window. Okay, and I'll let it play for, let's say, 10 seconds or so. And there's a reason I'm doing this, I promise. All right, so that was one play. And now I'm gonna do another play. And this time I'm gonna let it play all the way through, but I'm just gonna move it off screen so it doesn't need to bother us. All right, let's go back to the analytics. So what we'll see here is this is refreshing live about once every, what was it, Peter, 15 seconds, something like that? Yep. So we'll see that.
Yep, 10 seconds.
For those plays, and right now, remember in the background, that video, that second video was, or second window that I opened was still playing, so it just completed now. So I can sort of see live, there have been 2 visits. The first visit was a minute ago. If I click on that, I get to see it was visited and the viewer watched 48%. Second visit, it was watched to the end. And then I get to see this visually here. First sort of 9 seconds of the video, both of those viewers watched, and the rest, only one of them watched. So I can see this kind of thing. So yeah. So to answer the question that just came in, a couple of questions actually. The one on better engagement. That is, yeah, that's what segmenting is for. It's to see the engagement. It's to know when particular people who you've sent the video to have opened it, and so forth. So if I switch to person 1, I'll see that there are 0 visits there because I've never actually even shared that segment. So that's how the analytics and segments work. All right. Okay. So I'll show you just one more thing, how to upload a pre-recorded video. As I said, that's pretty much straightforward. Well, just so happens I have another webinar recording here. Maybe I want to share it through CrankWheel. I can upload that here. It'll go through a similar process. So after it's been processed, it'll appear here. The only real difference is you don't see a preview of it immediately. All right. Now, there's a couple of other things that I think are worth mentioning. Peter, could you talk a little bit about the programmability around this, like APIs around the video stuff?
Yeah, so we have an API for integration. So if you want to download videos, say for example, you as a company are doing lots of sessions, you have the auto record feature turned on, and you want some integration that pulls those videos into your own system for syncing with audio or something like that. We have an API that you can download the file, but also you can download a JSON blob information that comes with it that gives you some metadata about the file, including information about events. So for example, if the recording was made and the recording was paused for a section, or maybe paused a few times during the session, we have those events so that you can sync up audio with the timestamps of the video. So we've thought about that kind of integration.
Fantastic. Thank you, Peter. Okay, so I believe we've covered most of what we talked about, sort of showing off. Is there anything obvious that I forgot that you remember? Okay, great.
Not that I can think of.
Then I think it's time to go to questions. So Birgir, maybe you want to come back here, answer anything that's more around. Yeah, there you are. Okay, cool. So let's see. I see that there's a bunch of live questions. So we should a bunch of questions already asked. So
yeah. So I just want to add, when you're recording a video for an email, you might want to do like what Joe did for the preview, like wave or show a note or something, because the preview is only your first 5 seconds. Am I right, Peter? Yeah.
Yes, that's
so
right.
They will get some animation in the preview, but I'm scrolling up here.
One of the earlier questions asked was, can you click on the GIF preview in the email? And yes, you can. You don't have to find the small click here link. You can also just click the picture.
Yeah, and Kathy also asked, are you saying that CrankWheel now records your webcam?
Yeah,
so
I'll take that one.
Yeah.
Because I mean, for especially for many larger customers, there's always going to be a concern with storing more information in the cloud and so on. So yes, CrankWheel will record your webcam if you request it. It is possible to fully turn that feature off on an account by account level. So if you want none of your agents to have access to that, that's quite possible. It is default enabled on new accounts today. And if you have an older account and you'd like it enabled, just reach out to us, support@crankwheel.com, or the chat on our website, crankwheel.com. And in terms of recording, the default mode for recording now for all new accounts, and in fact for any account that has only one presenter at the moment, even if they signed up earlier, the default mode is our new record to cloud. Older accounts are still on the previous mode, which is record to local disk only. And for larger accounts that want to stay on there, or larger accounts that join after this day, that would prefer not to upload videos or have videos stored in the cloud, we can accommodate that. So I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, so Kathy had another question. Can we stream videos to multiple viewers?
Right. Peter, do you want to take that?
Yeah. So at the moment, no, we can't. It is something we've discussed internally, and there's some complexity there in terms of how we would make that a good implementation. If, for example, one viewer is running slow, not everybody would sync up the same. So there's a couple of interesting problems to solve there, but we are thinking about it.
Right. So and that's from the projector standpoint, right? That's when you're in a screen sharing session. At that point, you can only have one viewer watching projector. But for the video shared by email or link, you can have multiple viewers at the same time, right? Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Dave Baxter asks, does the guest have to give any hardware permissions or simply accept the start of the video as you showed?
They just have to accept the start of the video. That is the permission that you're giving to the browser to play the video.
And Thomas asked the question, can the videos be set to play automatically like Demio?
I'm not sure I'm clear on the question.
I think he's asking that once you click the link and the video pops up, will it play automatically? Autoplay?
Oh, yeah. No, I know the answer to that. So, we could, but then the audio of the video wouldn't play. That's a limitation, or it's a recent development in browsers that they tend not to allow videos to play automatically unless they are muted. So that's why we require a click every time before the video plays.
And JRT asked, can this tech be interfaces through SMS in addition with email?
I can take this one. So right now, there is no way to send the SMS directly from CrankWheel. That's something we've considered, and we might add. I would love to hear feedback on that. So go ahead, put that in the chat if it's of interest to you. However, you can take the link. If you have a video open and you click on share and you just copy the plain link, not the email preview, just the plain link. That plain link would work perfectly within a text message, wouldn't it, Peter?
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, and Kathy asks, does this now connect with our own email service via SMTP so we can email directly from the app?
Okay, I'll take that one. So no. So our policy through the years has been that when you are using email to send out invitation links, and now when you're using email to send out video previews, that we do not send them for you. And there are a few reasons for that. Most of them are to do with deliverability of the email and just keeping your own brand intact. So you use your email client to send the previews, and it's just a copy paste into the email client. Similar to how if you start a screen sharing session and you want to use email to invite, CrankWheel doesn't send the email for you, but it opens up the email client on your computer with a pre-composed message that you can edit before sending it. And that means it's really coming from you, from your own email servers. And that's best for your sort of email reputation and whether you can deliver email in the future, as well as just to preserve your brand so that, CrankWheel doesn't have to be somewhere in the middle there when you're sending out.
And JRT also asks, is there a closed caption feature?
That's a good one. Is there, Peter? When is that? Is that tomorrow?
No, there's no closed caption feature.
It's a good suggestion.
Write it down.
Yeah.
Yes. Did CC? Can I clarify? Did CC mean closed caption, or did CC mean carbon copy for the email link sending?
I think it's closed caption, but JRT,
Yeah,
maybe you could.
Yeah, you can clarify in the chat.
Okay.
Closed caption. Yeah, that's it. It's been clarified.
Sam is asking, is this instead of Zoom, or could you use them in collaboration?
Okay. Yeah, I can take that one. So CrankWheel is designed to be specifically a sales tool, most often on cold calls or one-on-one calls, basically discussions that start as a phone call, and makes it really easy to add the screen sharing on top of the phone call. So in that sense, we are something different from Zoom or Teams. I don't think you would use Zoom or Teams or Google Hangouts for that purpose. It would be very clunky, very difficult for your viewer, and they would try to do the audio in Teams, and it would just be strange. So in a sense, it's different from those. But in another sense, you can use them together. So we have heard of people who use like Zoom for just the audio part of the conversation and then use CrankWheel to screen share. You can definitely do that. So I hope that answers the question, and feel free to post a follow-up if not.
And there's a question from Sam. How long?
Is there a limit
to? Yeah.
Yep, Peter, is there a baked-in limit?
There's no baked-in limit. There's a limit with regards to hardware, so storage size. But that's really dependent on the machine that's doing the uploading. I think Amazon will reach their limit far later than the uploading machine will.
Yes. So if I can rephrase that, so your computer needs to be able to keep the video in sort of memory or on that computer before,
yes.
And then once it's uploaded, we'll store whatever size of video you need.
There is actually a limit on browsers, because when you are recording your video, we store it in your browser in something called the browser's index DB. And those browsers have a limit that is different. It can be changed, but it's generally a few gigabytes. It's stored on disk, but when that limit is reached, the browser will try and clean that up. So there is a limitation there.
Okay, we should figure out exactly what it is, but we've tested this with very long videos, so it shouldn't be a problem for you.
Yeah, and Kathy asked, when do we existing users get access? Did you answer that?
Yeah, I think we've answered that. So you can get access anytime you want. Just email us or chat with us on the website chat, and we can enable that. It's just, as I explained, on older accounts where you have 2 or more presenters, we didn't want to make an assumption of what your preference would be. So please just email us and we'll turn on the record to cloud feature for you.
And JRT is asking about virtual backgrounds.
Yes, I can take that one as well, since I did some research on that. So it is on our roadmap. We don't have virtual backgrounds at the moment, but we are looking to, in the fairly short run, that is one of the next things we want to build. At least to be able to blur the background and maybe do some fun virtual things. We'll see. But blurring for sure is coming. Yeah,
and you answered it earlier, but I want to add to the answer from Kathy about segmenting, is just to be able to see which company had better engagement. You can also use the segmenting, like when you're sending a bunch of emails to people, to try out the text copy you write. So you can send one form of call of action, and then another, but always have the same video. And if you segment it, you can see, which copy led to more or higher open rates. So you can use it to play around and improve your messaging.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, Mike said this stuff is incredible.
Thank you, Mike.
Tony Fiorio asked, excuse me if I butchered your name, can the results show specifically who viewed a video?
Peter, can you take that?
So on the share page, we're sort of, because of data privacy and stuff like that, we're not grabbing too much information about the person who's looking at the video. I think if you want to go that deep, I think segments is the tool that you want to use. So if you want to see, maybe you've got 4 or 5 people who are prospects and you want to see individually, then you would create a segment for each one of those. And then you would see everything that they've done with the video on that segment page.
That makes sense.
Yeah, where was I?
There's a question here that I think we should answer maybe before Thomas leaves. Before leaving the session, will there be an increase in monthly subscription using this new feature? No, this is included in the existing plans. There are limits on the number of playbacks per month that you can see on our pricing page. And if you become a really heavy user of videos and you start having a ton of playbacks, then that might start becoming a reason for you to upgrade to a larger plan. But you can have, I think it's 3 times the number of, if you have, let's say you have 100 sessions on your plan, you can have 300 playbacks a month. So it's quite a lot of playbacks. But if you become a very heavy user of the video, then maybe you might decide to upgrade.
Yeah, there's a question. Is it okay to ask a standard user question not related to the demo?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually I sent it's a private message that I sent. You can ask the question here, or you can chat with us at www.crankwheel.com right after the webinar. It's totally up to you. There's one here. Which video formats we support for uploading? That could be interesting. Peter, do you have this off the top of your head?
Well, it's not off the top of my head, but so the technology we use in the backend for processing the video is a tool called FFmpeg. And FFmpeg is famous for being able to handle pretty much everything. So I would say all major video formats are supported. So, MOV files, AVI, MP4, WebMs. If you're doing recordings, then you'll be uploading WebMs because that's what CrankWheel makes. But for your own videos, I think, yeah, any format you're likely to have will be supported.
Great. All right. What do you say, Birgir?
I don't think we have any more questions here. So, yeah, if somebody has a burning question, please type them in now.
Last chance. We'll wait for up to 4 seconds.
Thank you, Dave. Mike asks, is there an affiliate program? Yes, there is. You can find it if you go to crankwheel.com. There's a link to it at the bottom of the page in the footer.
Yep, absolutely. Please go ahead and join that if you have people that you'd like to refer. That would be wonderful.
Okay, so I think we are about to close the show. So, yeah, thank you everybody who participated, and especially those who asked questions and engaged with us. So I think it's time to say goodbye and see you next time.
Bye-bye. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.